Welcome to Chapter 12 of Class 9 Science, Improvement in Food Resources. In this important chapter, we'll explore how scientific methods can help increase food production to meet the needs of our growing population while protecting our environment. We'll learn about crop improvement techniques, efficient farming practices, animal husbandry, and sustainable approaches to agriculture. Get ready to understand the science behind feeding our world. Let's begin with understanding why we need to improve food resources. India's population has crossed 1.4 billion people and continues to grow. To feed everyone, we need to produce more food, but we can't simply expand farmland because most available land is already being cultivated. This means we must increase production efficiency through scientific methods. The Green Revolution for food grains and White Revolution for milk have shown us that science can dramatically increase production. However, we must do this sustainably, without damaging our environment or depleting natural resources. Food security depends not just on producing enough food, but also on people having access to it through adequate incomes. Now let's explore crop variety improvement. This involves developing better crop varieties through scientific breeding methods like hybridization and genetic modification. Hybridization means crossing genetically different plants. This can be between different varieties, different species, or even different genera. Genetic modification involves introducing specific genes to give crops desired characteristics. We aim for varieties with higher yields, better quality, resistance to diseases and environmental stresses, shorter growing periods, wider adaptability to different conditions, and desirable physical traits. For example, dwarf varieties of cereals consume less nutrients while giving good yields. Nutrient management is crucial for crop production. Plants need essential nutrients just like humans need balanced food. They get carbon and oxygen from air, hydrogen from water, and 13 other nutrients from soil. Macronutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium are needed in large quantities, while micronutrients like iron, zinc, and copper are needed in small amounts. We can supply these nutrients through manure and fertilizers. Manure is organic, made from decomposed animal and plant waste. It improves soil structure and is environmentally friendly. Fertilizers are chemical products that provide immediate nutrients but can cause pollution and soil damage if overused. Organic farming minimizes chemical use and focuses on natural inputs. Efficient water management through irrigation is essential for reliable crop production. Since most Indian agriculture depends on monsoon rains, irrigation systems ensure water availability throughout the growing season. We have different irrigation methods: wells including dug wells and tube wells, canals that distribute water from rivers and reservoirs, river lift systems that directly pump water from rivers, and tanks that store rainwater. Modern approaches include rainwater harvesting, building check dams to increase groundwater, and watershed management. Scientists are also developing drought-tolerant crop varieties that can grow with less water. Smart cropping patterns help maximize land productivity while maintaining soil health. Mixed cropping involves growing two or more crops together on the same land. This reduces risk because if one crop fails, the other might succeed. Intercropping grows crops in specific patterns with different nutrient requirements. This maximizes resource use and prevents pest spread. Crop rotation involves growing different crops in sequence on the same land. This prevents nutrient depletion and reduces disease buildup. These practices help farmers get better yields while protecting their land for future use. Crop protection is essential to prevent losses from weeds, pests, and diseases. Weeds are unwanted plants that compete with crops for nutrients, space, and light. Insect pests damage plants by cutting parts, sucking sap, or boring into stems and fruits. Diseases caused by bacteria, fungi, and viruses can destroy entire crops. We use various control methods including mechanical removal, chemical pesticides, biological control, and preventive measures like crop rotation and resistant varieties. Proper storage of harvested grains is also important to prevent losses from insects, rodents, and fungi. Animal husbandry involves scientific management of livestock including cattle, poultry, fish, and bees. Cattle farming provides milk and draft power for farm work. We improve breeds by cross-breeding local varieties that have disease resistance with exotic varieties that give more milk. Poultry farming provides eggs and meat through layers and broilers respectively. Fish production comes from capture fishing in natural waters and culture fishing through farming. Beekeeping produces honey and wax. All these practices require proper shelter, feeding, breeding, and disease control for success. As we conclude this chapter, let's remember that sustainable food production requires balancing increased output with environmental protection. We need integrated approaches that combine crops with livestock, use resources efficiently, minimize chemical inputs, and maintain ecological balance. Scientific methods have given us tools to produce more food, but we must use them wisely to ensure we can continue to feed future generations without damaging our planet. The challenge is not just producing more food, but doing so sustainably while ensuring everyone has access to adequate nutrition.